has to adapt to the methods because, well, he's basically going to have to use spread mostly. And by now, with the strats that he's using right now, he's going to be using charge a lot and spread, of course, which is like the strongest weapon in the current patch. So for everyone who doesn't know Jason and Jason matches in general, Orangepuddingz is going to be ahead. He's going to be ahead probably even by the end of World 2 if all things are, are great, of course, if neither of them have a death. So Jason's race is going to be, if he's going to be able to catch up and eventually, of course, overtake his opponent, which is going to happen somewhere in the middle of the third wall. But at this Cuphead, and well, Cuphead is a really difficult game, right?
Yes, definitely. There are lots of places where it's so easy to die, especially in the very end of the boss battles, where you actually spent already 1 minute and a half battling the boss, and if you die at the very end, you're going to lose a ton of time. It's going to be very, very bad, the outcome of the race. In general, the average difficulty of this game, it's really, really high. Now you see this racer that beat the game tons and tons of times, and they are making it look this game pretty easy. You see, oh, look at how smoothly these players are going through the game. It looks so easy. It is not. Believe me, it is not. This is a hard game.
It is indeed, and it's extremely punishing. As we said, the disadvantage that Jason will have from the beginning is the fact that he's going to be doing the 2 extra running gun levels.
Yes.
Orangepuddingz did the tutorial. It was just the tutorial needed to get the spread, and he's only going to be using spread and the basic weapon fissure. He's going through Root Pack. Root Pack is by far one of the easiest bosses in the run.
Pretty standard.
So he's mostly going to be using spreads as because the hitboxes are really large in the boss, the onion, the potato, and the carrot. So yeah, he's going to go storm through the fight easily, as Jason is going to be finishing the 2nd running on level.
The treetop trouble. This is not a level usually watch in most of the category. It is extremely interesting run and gun with a vertical section and then a final section which is appears to happen on air, and they are a slight mini boss at the end. But what Jason is really interested in these levels is coins. Jason needs coins to buy the spread shot and also the charge shot, which are the two main weapons he's going to use in the run. In the meantime, Orangepuddingz hit the root pack. I haven't seen time, but it looks like a pretty good time.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty decent time considering the fact that he played quite safe. And now he's on the frogs fight as Jason finishes the 2nd running gun level. The frogs fight it's considerably easy. It's not really that difficult. There's a specific escape you get if you get a specific attack pattern in the first phase. Luckily for Orange, he didn't take it. He didn't have that pattern, I guess. Oh, yeah, he's taking an accidental damage right now. It's alright.
You got the easiest pattern between the two. You can get flies at the first attack or not get flies at the first attack. If you get flies, it's still gonna be possible to skip actually an attack and skip a cycle and saving around 10 seconds. But with the pattern Orange got it remarkably easier. And as you can see, Orange managed to skip 1 attack and is jumped already to the 3rd phase, the slot machine phase.
Yeah, so for those who are wondering why is Jason going the extra running gun levels, he's going to pick up charge. It's like the main weapon that Jason, of course with spread, which is still pretty powerful. What charge allows you to do is during downtime while bosses switch phases, you can charge 1 really strong attack, and in combination with a really powerful EX, you get some extra damage before the boss even spawns, as Orangepuddingz has a really good fight in the Ribbon Frogs fight.
Yes, it's like a very, very clean fight, a very, very quick 3rd phase. Yeah, 112, it's a good time. Good job for Orange. And now Jason will start catching up a little bit because he has better weapons, so his fights are going to be faster than Orange ones.
41. Oh my god, 41. I think that's actually one of the best he can get in that level. Pretty sure like he got 41s, but 41 is pretty impressive compared to what Orange got, like 47 if I'm not mistaken. Little by little he will catch up, and later on bosses have some RNG elements combined to them, but Jason will not really be affected by those RNG elements that much. Charge gives you that extra utility, I guess, that negates those RNG elements, or I guess it minimizes the damage.
Yes. Orange is in a little bit of trouble with the Cuphead fight. He has already 1 HP, he is approaching the last phase. He has to play a little bit safer than usual, because if he takes another damage, he's going to die. Ooh. That was close. But,
yeah, it was indeed close, as Orange now is going to move to Hildaberg. And the first airplane levels in general in Cuphead are mostly like bullet hells, I guess you can say, because Cuphead only fires in one direction, and you don't really have to focus on anything other than dodging, in my opinion. And an extra thing about this category in specific is the fact that you have to manage your EXs specifically to get some really big bombs, because if you gather 5 cards on airplane levels, you get a really big bomb that deals a lot of damage.
You have to use it at very specific moments, especially when you know that the damage is going to.
Well, Jason got an 105 on the frogs. It's actually a really competitive time, I believe. Like one of the best you can get there with charge and spread. So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's saving 6-7 seconds per boss compared to Orangepuddingz time. So at this rate, we may see both players aligned in, I believe, 5-6 boss.
So Orange did 2 damage boosts on Hilda. Like there are like 2 specific damage boosts that you can do. He didn't really take those 2 hits by accident. You can use those damage boosts to fire a missile and get like 6 or 7 ticks of damage of that missile. That usually does about 3 if you don't have any specific large hitbox. Hilda is one of those bosses that, like in this phase, the missile can do more ticks of damage than 3. So using those damage boosts, you can get a really good time. And because he skipped a specific phase transition, he's gonna get a really insane time on the Hilda.
Yeah, yes, he managed to do the very hard strategy at the halfway of the fight, where he took 2 intentional damage to throw missiles when the boss was going towards the right in the same direction as the missile. This allows you to hit the boss with missiles multiple times and save a lot of time. As you can see, 1 minute and 11 is a pretty strong time. And Jason, of course, will not have the advantage of the weapons in the airplane stage, because of course they are going to have the same weapons, the gun and the bombs later on in the run. So for Orange, those are very important fights, because in these fights Orange can actually build up a little bit his own advantage before Jason is able to catching up definitely.
Kagane is kind of a difficult boss in the first world, probably the most difficult. Like he got a really good RNG and he played it actually pretty well, so he's not really gonna have any problem with him.
Yeah, as you can see, he's having a pretty decent RNG.
Oh, he's playing really aggressive. Nice. I'm pretty sure that is a goal splitter for Orangepuddingz. He probably get a 42, 43 there. That's pretty insane. Kagane fight. 44. All right. I'm lying.
Wow. He actually played very aggressively with some full EX shots with the spread, because since he had a lot of HP, he can afford to damage boost a little bit and deal this huge amount of damage in one shot. 44 is a very good time.
It is indeed. Jason, of course, he did the same strategies on Hilda, taking the damage boost. He's on 1 HP. Last phase is not really that difficult. You can go in front of like the UFO to bait the shot and see whether you're gonna dodge by staying behind or play a little bit more aggressive and go ahead. So a lot of the players have experience, so they know how to play those fights.
Yeah, you can get used to the patterns in the last phase pretty easily. Once you run. Once you face the Hilda many times, you're going pretty much to know what it's going to do and how to predict and avoid the attacks. Sometimes you can get some stars that are very easily to catch in time, and those may be very tricky, but it has been not the case for both of our players, so they're good.
As Jason is on Kagane, with the weapons that Jason has, Kagane is really easy. So you know we're gonna see him being quite aggressive, as he only is gonna charge the shot, back up a little bit to see some dodges, and whenever he has a charge shot, he uses an EX combination with an EX. Orangepuddingz is on Beppy on Island too. Beppy is relatively easy fight, not really much to say other than there are some RNG elements that you can lose some time compared to the RNG. But Orange has done a really good job so far. A pretty impressive fight, I might say. Being at 3 HP in the last phase as well. He's not really going to have a problem finishing this off.
I got also a pretty okay RNG, two cycles first phase, the green horse and third phase. So everything good for Orange thus far. And with 3 HP, this last phase is going to be relatively easy.
You see all these time saves that Jason has in his fights. Despite the fact that Orange had a really impressive Kagnu fight, he had a 44-second fight. Jason finished with a 39.
Wow.
So the little advantage the charge gets him, slowly it will add up, and he will be able to catch up or maybe overtake his opponent depending on how he performs in the later stages of the fights.
Yes, as Jason is going to approach the second island, so both players are in the same island at this point. There are two bosses of differences, but I expect this gap to be more and more less large now.
There is a difference between those two players, not just because of the weapons that they use, but they have a different route as well. The different route is just because they have another weapon difference, and in particular the upgrade for the airplanes. Jason went to Baroness Bonbon first instead of being the Clown, simply because it's faster if you are willing to take the upgrade on the airplane. So Jason will take the bombs, which is the upgrade of course for the airplane. Orange will not take it. So by going to Baby first, Jimmy, and then Bonbon is a faster rotation if you're not taking the bombs. But just because Jason will take them, he opted to do the Baroness Bonbon fight, which is a really fast fight, by the way, for Jason because of charge.
Yeah, you can basically get rid of every minion with a couple of charge shots, whereas you had to deal much more damage with less powerful weapons. If you don't have the charge shot and every minion, and then you have the last phase is pretty much equal for both of players, but the minions are actually way easier to take down if you have the charge shot, of course, because it's such a powerful weapon.
Exactly. He got a 43 there on Baroness Bonbon. Bonbon fight with charge is relatively easy, as Andreas said here, the call, apologies, said there for the mini bosses fight. Usually with spread, the best time that I've seen so far is 49, but you usually get around 55 seconds. So Jason, with the better weapons and better execution, he can save at least 15 seconds just from one
Which is a lot, which is definitely a lot. Orange took down the Genie with a pretty strong time, 1 minute 34 seconds. Jason is facing the Genie as well, but Jason still has to do Beppy the Clown because of the different routes that UC just explained. And there's still one boss in the half difference, I would say, but Jason is catching up. Definitely.
So you're seeing the trouble that Orange has in the Baroness Bonbon fight. He cannot really take the minions fast enough. Jason, I think, has counted how many charge shots it takes to kill a specific enemies. Like, for example, the Cupcake takes about 4 charge shots, or 5 if I'm not mistaken. So here Orange gets the Cupcake, so you're gonna see him having a lot of trouble killing the Cupcake. It's gonna be focusing on dodging as well. Oh, he did a really good job there, but he gets him on like 4 or 5 cycles here, so it's a really slow fight compared to charge.
Yeah, really difficult aiming at the Cupcake. He moves a lot around all the screen. Your best weapon, which is the spread shot, has really lots of difficulties at dealing properly damage. I have to use the pea shooter, but the pea shooter is really slow. It doesn't deal too much damage.
You see, he got a 1 minute fight. Jason saved about 19 seconds in Bonbon fight. Those time saves will add up eventually, and that's how Jason will either catch up or will take the lead.
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, we didn't mention anything about Jimmy, because Jimmy is probably one of the easy fights, I guess, in the current patch. There's not really much to say other than actually managing your EXs, as in pretty much every single airplane fight, in my opinion. And the same thing applies to the bird, now Wally Warbles that Orange is going to be facing now.
In this fight, it's particularly important managing your EX properly because during the third phase, as we probably see, you can use a super bomb, gaining some invincibility frames and deal damage to the little bird towards the spike eggs, which usually act as a shield.
Exactly. So you see Orange parried at least one pink bird to get the nuke before the feather barrage begins. If all goes correct, he will have to parry one more pink bird, and then he will have enough to do exactly what Andreas said. Jason is slightly behind, as some people mentioned in chat. Derwinder said in chat that it looks like Jason's in the lead. He's slightly behind, about, I would say, 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Jason got the knockout on Peppy the Clown. He reached the third phase with just 1 HP. And there's a little bit of bullet hell in the third phase of Peppy the Clown, especially if you're short of cards, because the penguin attacks can be really problematic to dodge. Lots of things that start being shot by the penguin. And sometimes it's also very difficult to see them being launched. So you really don't want to face the last phase of Peppy the Clown with just 1 HP. But Jason did a great job. So.
In the meantime, Orange got some better retrieve there from the bird. The bird can either in the last phase move left or right. He moved left and then he stopped to do a really annoying attack that spreads the heart out, and you can only hurt the heart. But because Orange didn't have the bombs upgrade, he got stuck down there, and he actually managed to dodge all the bullets that came through him by becoming small airplane and dodge in that small area. That was really impressive. As he's moving now to the dragon fight, and probably one of the most annoying ones for everyone.
Yes, it's so difficult to manage to hit the boss, to see where the clouds are, managing your positioning and making sure that you don't fall down, at the same time dodging the dragon attacks. It's a very complicated fight. It doesn't look like a fight which requires very complicated strategies, but it's just pure simple execution. It's really hard because there are so many things happening at the same time.
It's more about clutching, I guess, because you have to do a lot of dodging in that fight. Orange took a really early hit in the first phase of the dragon, so that's really unfortunate, because you need that HP in the last phase. The last phase is by far the most difficult one, as Jason gets a really clean fight on Molly Warbles as well.
Yes. As Orange is approaching right now the last phase of the dragon. This is a very important moment for the race. Orange is just 1 HP.
God, that clutch on the fireball was pretty insane, the dodge right there.
Yes, definitely. Let's pay attention to flamethrower, because every dragon uses flamethrowers to hit fire apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
And looks like he's in a good shape, but the fight is still long. This fight never ends. It's incredible. Oh, nice.
Nice, he gets a knockout.
This fight really never ends. It's incredible. You think, oh, it's almost done. It is not. You still have to fight for at least other 10 seconds. Time never.
Because in the last phase you pretty much have to use P-Shooter. Spread there is like a death sentence by far if you spread in the last phase, because there is a high chance to hit the fireballs that splits into 4 different directions. Jason switched in the meantime to Lober instead of spread, because as I said earlier, spread is not a good weapon in the dragon fight. And he's doing a really interesting technique that he actually jumps, he fires the charge shot diagonally, and in combination with a spread Lober, with a Lober EX, I mean, he deals a shit ton of damage, I guess I would say. He's at 1 HP though. Oh,
no, he died! Ah, this may be bad. This is bad for Jason.
This is kind of bad. He died in the middle of the fight, so he lost about 30 seconds.
Probably even
so
more.
It's not that big of a deal, I guess. But he's definitely behind because of the route that he'll take, and because Orange is looking really hot so far. So I don't know if he will have a problem. Let's see.
Orange is doing a very great run. Now he's facing the B. Let's see second attack, which will be okay. He got pretty good RNG when the B.
Yeah, he got the best RNG in the B fight. There, Orange. He will get a really quick kill because of the RNG that he got. so he won't really have a problem with it. Oh, he's down to 1 HP, but he won't really have a problem to get the skill. This is not a glitch for everyone who's not really aware of it. He's gonna do a lot of damage to kill the bee, I believe, and get the knockout before she transforms into the airplane.
Yeah.
As Jason is 1 HP again, and the dragon gets the knockout. He didn't really calculate the damage that he does. He usually he has in his hand how many charge shots it takes, because he has done this fight a lot of times.
1 minute and 3 seconds. Orange did this fight in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Unfortunately, the death is going to cost him a lot of time. It's still there, this race is still open. Remember that Orange has to finish, so it's not over. Even Orange can, not for him, but Orange can have mistakes and can still lose a ton of time in every boss. So this race is far from being over, so stick around with us.
Exactly. And another fight that, because Jason got the bomb upgrade for the airplanes, that fight can be done really fast because of the bomb upgrade. Because you see the middle part of the robot and the main part of the robot can be done in the same time with the bombs. You only have to land 1 bomb to hit both of these points of the robot. And you're going to see a really interesting tactic here, using the bomb to skip that second phase of the robot. Pretty nicely done.
The flawless run for flawless robot, Dr. Car's robot for Orange. Now he's in the bullet hell. These shards looks random, but they are not. They're spread in a direction. Plus the source of the shards is moving all around. So basically the pattern is predictable. You can predict where the shards are going to be, but of course it's really difficult because there's so much going on. Really difficult to keep track of everything.
Using the iframes there for from the bomb to hover over the bar there, they both get the knockout, pretty much sync there on the score screens. You see Jason won that fight between the bee with a really fast time, 45 seconds. Another time save, but he has to do a lot of time
15
saves.
seconds. Yeah. Probably needs also that Orange chokes a boss at this point, because I don't know if even by playing its own best, Orange playing its own best will be enough to catching up at this point. Probably needs some mistakes from Orange in order to get him back in.
Exactly. You can see Jason utilize the bombs here effectively. You can see he hits the middle and the bottom part with the bombs, so it's not really that difficult for him to take both of his hatches, I guess, at the same time. In the meantime, Orange is moving on to Sally's stage play. And Sally is, I guess, one of the easiest bosses, right?
Yes, it's not really nothing super special to say. There is the last attack, which can be the last phase, which can be completed in a very few times with a specific strategy, with a specific EX shot managing. Usually, when you have 5 EX shots, you can use 5 of them with a pea shooter to get a fast kill with of Sally at the very end. Yeah. It's a little bit of trouble with his 1 HP. Let's see if he gets the strat.
He will use the strategy with the 5 EXs to get a quick kill. Unfortunately, he misses, so he's gonna have to use a little bit of spread, and he gets the easy knockout. Both of them get the knockout pretty much at the same time.
Yes, it's really easy to get cornered by that umbrella, because sometimes the umbrella moves in a very unpredictable way, and it's really easy to find yourself basically trapped. And when you have 1 HP, that's deadly, because that's a very last moment for the fight. So good job for Orange, good job also for Jason, which already defeated the robot. And
Jason made one slight mistake. He thought he gathered enough EXs to use the super bomb, but he became trigger happy, I guess. He got 4.9 cards instead of 5, I guess, and he fired 1 missile, so he had to gather a little bit more EX to use the big bomb.
I guess that also this fight with the charge shot is going to be incredibly faster with respect to the pea shooter.
Yeah.
Especially in these fights where basically the hitbox is so big, and you can basically hit the boss at pretty much every time. You have plenty of time to charge the shot, to switch to spread.
Exactly. Sally, pretty much in every phase transition, has a lot of downtime, so spread can be, charge can be fully utilized between the phase chains there. As Orange is on Very Vermin, the Very Vermin can be really problematic with the P-Shooter spread route, because if you want to play safe, you're gonna have to use P-Shooter, but P-Shooter is kind of weak compared to Charge, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
this fight can be kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah, the second phase is very tricky because you have to dodge a lot of things at the same time, and the pattern sometimes can really be very tricky because if you can you can easily find yourself cornered without no way to escape, and even if you find a way to escape, you have to give up on damaging the boss. You are going to lose a ton of time.
Exactly. You see the time difference with Sally's stage play because of those downtime phase changes that Sally has in pretty much every single phase. Jason managed to cover 10 seconds from that fight, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a 53 or 54 in a Werner fight because of Charge again. So that's another 6 seconds. And well, talking about time saves and time losses, Orangepuddingz right now is rolling the dice in this one because Captain Brightenbeard is an RNG fiesta in this specific route with spread and P-Shooter. You are 100% dependent on the RNG, whether you're gonna be getting a really fast fight or not. So far he got one unfortunate really quick squid gun, and now he got the Sark summon, which is really easy to dodge and really fast. And now he's got another bad pattern, I guess.
I believe he dealt enough damage to trigger the last phase for him. He doesn't! So another extra phase, this is going to cost him at least 10 seconds, I would say.
At least that's the squid. He realizes that he did enough damage now to go to the last phase. As Jason finishes the fight with 1 HP as well. Jason fashion, I guess. The quick kill, the 55. That wasn't like the quickest. Oh, an unfortunate death for Orange.
Here comes the event that may change the outcome of this race. Orange died at the very end of a super RNG based boss. Oh no, this is very unfortunate for him. It's going to be still ahead, but by very little. And now Jason can definitely catch up.
Yeah, this is an RNG based boss for the P-Shooter spread. And in the second fight now, Orange gets kind of a bad RNG if you're willing to do a really fast fight. And he does a really poor job there dodging those fists. In the meantime, talking about RNG in this fight, Jason with Charge doesn't care about RNG because no matter what he gets, Jason will always do damage with Charge. So Orange is in a really bad spot here.
Definitely. Because of the charge shot, you have to charge. You don't need to keep firing at the boss continuously. You can take your pauses, and this allows you in the meantime to dodge whatever attack the pirate decides to go for. Contrary to the other route where you definitely need to keep firing at him. But if you have to dodge, let's say the speed gun or the fish dog, this is going to be very hard. And now they are tied.
Yeah, they are pretty much close to each other, but you're gonna have to take into account that Jason has the charge, so it's gonna be problematic there.
Yeah, definitely. Jason has a big advantage now that he managed to catching up with Orange. I guess that probably would have caught up with Orange way earlier, but because of the death, he had to wait for a death from Orange in order to realize this. Now both are facing Calamaria. This is a weird boss, I would say.
Yeah, RNG base again, boss on the first phase. Depending on the pattern that you get, you can either get really fast nukes because you have more parable stuff to get. Gotta say, I forgot to mention something. Jason is using Lober instead of spread, not just in the dragon but also in the pirate, just because spread is not a good weapon against the pirate. And the Lober EX is so strong, so he's using Lober just for the EX.
To switch back to spread shot for the other for the remaining battles train.
So they're pretty much neck to neck now, because they go both to second phase pretty much at the same time.
This is the last boss where Orange can actually save time with respect to Jason without relying on deaths or big mistakes, because Jason, of course, here does not have the advantage, the weapon advantage. It looks like Jason actually in this fight actually jumped ahead to Orange. In this fight, that was the only fight that Orange could have used.
Yeah, Orange made a mistake there. He was trying to play it safe, so he was standing behind but his machine gun was actually shooting the eel instead of Calamaria. So that was a mechanical mistake from Orange. As you can see, that will cost him some time, and Jason now is in the lead.
Yeah. Now for Orange is not looking really good. It's still not over, of course, because they are still tied, and Jason and needs to play very, very good in order to keep the lead. I guess we are going to have a very, very clutchy hand.
Yeah, the 3 upcoming bosses are kind of difficult, I have to say. Jason, of course, has the edge in all of them because he has the charge, as I mentioned. It's the safer choice that gives you a lot of damage compared to what Orange has, but nevertheless, the fights are still really difficult.
Orange is playing safe this first phase. As you can see, he doesn't use the card to getting close to the train. Basically, it half the damage that Jason did there. He already lost time, just not only for the disadvantage in terms of weapons, but also because he played safe. He played a lot safe. Let's see if one of the Orange can clutch the 2-cycle skeleton.
Yeah, let's see if he gets the 2-cycle. I believe he might get it. I'm pretty sure he can. He gets it.
Nice.
The thing is, Jason now in the 3rd phase has a lot of damage with charge and spread, so he's going to be done with that phase relatively faster than Orange. The only thing that can save Orange, I guess, if he's going to try to do the 1-cycle engine, but that is extremely difficult to pull out.
Yeah, I think he needs much more cards in order to pull off that. Right now he only has 1 and almost 2, so he doesn't even have the right amount of...
With the weapons as Jason has, he can 1-cycle the train boss. Orangepuddingz cannot do that, so he's gonna have to rely on safer strats and 2-cycling the train engine.
109 is a time which maybe the time that it may be also good, especially for if they are at the beginning of the all bosses regular legacy runs. 109 in that category is still good, and he got it with in the current patch and with other weapons, so impressive run.
Yeah, it is impressive indeed.
20 seconds, he gained 20 seconds in this fight. Now the lead starts to be very, very consistent.
Yeah, for someone who is asking in chat, charge in general is a really good weapon, so nevertheless he will have an advantage over P-Shooter spread from Orange, no matter what. Simply because look at both runners are going to go to number 2, number 4, and number 8 boss fight in the King Dice. And this boss fight right now, the poker chips, is a really easy fight for charge shot because you pretty much deal a lot of damage to that small hitbox that the head of the poker chips has. Whereas Orangepuddingz will only use the P-Shooter right here.
Yeah. Now you can definitely compare the 2 fights because Orange is fighting the chips right now. You can actually count the number of cycles Orange needs with respect to the number Jason had, and actually realize how faster is the charge setup with respect to the P-Shooter set. Nevertheless, Orange got a very good fight, only 3 cycles, which is pretty okay with the P-Shooter, I guess.
It's a pretty good with P-Shooter. You get it with 2 cycle, I believe that's called, or not 3, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the reason they're doing 2, 4, and 8, by the way, is just because the boss fights are, well, the 2 and 4 fights are not easier 100%, you might say, but they have less HP than the other boss fights, I guess. So they're definitely faster. So, you know, you have to play slightly better, I guess, to get faster times there. Yeah. But number 8 is definitely the fastest boss fight from the last set.
Yeah, because the boss doesn't even add an art box. So basically, this means that you can freely use fully EX press shot, tons of damage and get rid of this boss very easily, as Jason is doing right now.
Yeah, as you see, Jason jumps into the boss, uses the spread EX, nicely done there. So he's gonna be done with the fight really fast.
Here it is.
Another important thing to mention here is because he had charge on the Dominos, he didn't use EXs to gain that extra air time to dodge the spikes and such. So he was doing a lot of damage with charge, and he gathered enough EXs to use all of those EXs on the Magic 8 Ball and have a really fast fight compared to Orange.
Yeah. fighting King Dice right now. King Dice is in a very, very incredible good spot because he has tons of HP to actually damage boosting the cards. He has the charge shot, yeah, and that fight was incredibly fast.
Yeah, really good fight there for Jason. Pretty sure it's below 2 minutes, or barely 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes and 2 seconds. I know he can do better than that, but I guess he wanted to be slightly more safe. Yes. As Orange is on the last phase on the King Dice as well. Orange had a really amazing King Dice, by the way, like compared with the spread T-shirt that he had.
Orange is doing a very great run because he basically took this race down to the outcome of the Devil. The Devil is going to decide this round. Jason cannot die to the Devil. So this race is still not over yet. If Jason dies here, Orange has still a shot. So good job for Orange for actually reaching this point.
Exactly. Like Jason gets one pattern that a lot of people just like, the attack. For Jason, it's not really that big of a problem because he has charge shot and he can shoot at the head, dealing a lot of damage. So he doesn't necessarily care that much about that attack. But if Orange gets that attack on the Devil, he will lose a lot of time.
Yeah, just 10 seconds, I would say. Very quick first phase for Jason. Now he's going to fight the Devil, the big Devil face, the big cry-baby Devil face.
Exactly. The hitbox are his eyes, so you just stay inside the eyes. There's no hurtbox there, so you can use spread X's there. Easily done.
Second to last phase, looking good. He has still 3 HPs. He's in very good shape, unless something really unfortunate bad happened. Jason has this race on his own hands.
Yeah, he pretty much has the race in his pocket, I would say. Orange moving with 2 HP, he took 1 hit. Last phase for
that's
Jason.
That's a knockout.
He actually got a really fast knockout there. And a really impressive time considering the fact that he actually had a death.
Yeah, true.
36 minutes and 23 seconds with a death is insane if you think about it. He probably got close to sub 34 minutes.
Which... probably something even better if he has a good computer, because usually the difference between in-game time and real time is around 3 minutes, let's say. So yeah, probably sub 34, something around.
Close to sub 34. Probably not, but it was really close. I will ask him later as we bring him for an interview soon. Orange is approaching the last phase.
An unfortunate hit. Now he has to pay attention to the side tiers, but it gets the knockout, and Orange also finished the run. Very great race from both of our runners. Incredible race. I really enjoyed it a lot. Orange kept this the outcome of this result very uncertain until the end. Jason could not afford death to the Devil, so it was a really close race until the end. Unfortunate for Orange, he has the disadvantage of the route because Jason managed this very well. It's really good. He basically needed a deathless run to have a shot against Jason. He was really unfortunate at the Pirate. He took a very unfortunate death, and that cost him the game. Apart from that, a very clean fight, clean race.
And I believe we have Jason here with us. Jason, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Jason. Congratulations, man, on your victory.
Thank you. It was intense.
Yeah, definitely. A very good race.
It was a really close race. Both of you were on the Devil fight. Some people in chat were saying, Jason, don't choke on the Devil again. or unfollow and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I made sure I didn't this time. I played it a little safer than I normally do, to make sure I had enough HP for the end because I didn't want to risk choking.
Yeah, but it was pretty clean. You had some really nice fights. I mean, Kagani was a 39, I believe, and some other fights were so clean, except from, I believe, the Dragon, which...
Yeah, the Dragon, oh man, I don't know what I was doing there. I just got hit early on because I thought I was high enough to land on the platform, but I wasn't. I was just a little below the cloud, and I fell and took damage, and then I had pretty bad RNG in the second phase with the flames, and they ended up wrecking me.
Yeah, nevertheless, you were winning a lot of time because you had the charge, of course, as we mentioned. It's like the utility weapon that, during downtime, it provides you that extra, DPS, or the X is pretty useful as well. You were catching up really fast, and at one point, Orange, I believe, was gonna win against the race, but he had a really unfortunate death on the last phase of Captain Briny. So that was
Ooh.
unfortunate. Yeah.
That's a pretty costly
It is.
time loss too. And he only finished like 40 seconds behind me or so. That would have definitely made the difference.
Especially with the spread P-shooter route, Briny Beard is a pain in the ass. As we have Orangepuddingz, I believe, with us. Can you hear us, Orange?
Hello.
Hello, Orange. Congratulations on your run. That was actually a pretty good run from you.
Yeah, dude, the Briny Beard fight, like, oof, that
was unfortunate. That was really unfortunate.
I mean, you had a really clean run before Briny Beard. I mean, even after that, your fights were really clean. The King Dice fight, in my opinion, was stellar. You played quite well there. What was your run?
I golded the last 3 splits. Phantom, King Dice, and Devil. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Like, it was pretty impressive. Like I saw your King Dice fight was on point. Everything you did was pretty great. The dodge is there as well. So you had a really clean race. Before Captain Briny, were you really close to your PB? Because I believe.
Yeah, I was. I think I was ahead until Robot, but I straight up just forgot to get the bombs. So like, because muscle memory, I'm not used to doing it. So I lost a lot of time on the Robot, but like, yeah.
This guy forgot to bring the
Good
bombs.
game, Orange. That was a really close
GG.
match.
Yeah, it was close.
So with that victory, Jason, you are advancing to the next round of the losers bracket. And for everyone in chat who saw the first match of Jason, we have a rematch now. Jason against Veliso. And everyone is excited about that, I'm pretty sure. How do you feel about that, Jason?
I'm excited. I'm excited also. I just need to get my revenge for that first round.
Yeah.
Plus, it was such a close match too. I'm sure it'll be, regardless of the outcome, I'm sure it'll be exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people even now say that that was probably one of the best matches that we had in the tournament. That was like extremely close. So
this one was even closer. I think, like, if you go look at the time, I mean, my death was right at the end of the Devil against Weliso, so that was a little more intense. But in terms of time, I think that this match I had with Orange was even closer than mine and Weliso's.
Probably, yes.
Actually, now that you say in terms of time, you are correct. But I believe the previous with Veliso had an amazing run. That was like, even Veliso beating his run, I remember. So yeah, Orange, you're out of the tournament now. How do you feel overall about the tournament? Do you enjoy it?
It was my first like tournament, so it was a really fun experience. I'm glad I made it as far as I did, at least.
Yeah, you had some really nice matches, especially against me. And
yeah, I was telling him that. He beat both of us.
Yeah, especially, but in the same round, we actually go out of the tournament at the same round of the losers bracket as well. But a coincidence, I might say. But
oh right, you had a match against TMR earlier.
Yeah, I'm out. So might as well. Both of you runs a PB recently, right? If I'm not mistaken. Orange, you had a PB about.
Yeah, a few days ago. I got a 33-35.
35 without loads. That is pretty impressive, like getting that sub 34. And Jason, are you gonna continue with your route? I think I asked you before as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to continue with it for at least the rest of the tournament. We'll see how much farther I get, and then after that, I might give the other the P-shooter spread route a try and see if I can improve my time.
Yeah, I mean your time is already got like top 4 so far. I'm right there behind you. Today I got a PB. I'm 88 seconds behind you right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
congrats.
Thank you so much. But I hope you guys, the viewers, really enjoyed this run, this race. It was really close. At one point on Captain Briny, both of you guys were about 5 seconds apart.
Wow.
Calamaria, you took the lead, Jason.
Yeah.
And of course, later with Charge, you have the advantage on King Dice and the train, as you can easily one-cycle the train.
Yeah, I just tried really hard to like go as fast as I could at the end because like I knew I had to, or else like.
Dude, getting 3 goal splits in a race, in the last moment, that is super impressive, I gotta say. So
yeah,
because you have the pressure, and it's pretty insane to see that. So yeah, I think that's it from us, right? Do you guys have any final thoughts before we close the broadcast?
I just wanted to thank you too for commentating, and thanks Orangepuddingz for putting up a great match for the viewers. And I can't wait for the next round.
We are looking forward for your next match. I can say I really like your strategy with the charge shot. It's really fun to watch and really cool because there are so many new things that I see and I learn just by watching your runs. It's very
yeah,
cool.
I'm glad you enjoy it. And the good thing too about it is that just it makes RNG less of a factor. Like, I don't know if you guys remember my Briny Beard fight, but I got the fish thing like twice in a row. And with charge, luckily you could just stay back and still shoot charge shots. But if I got that RNG with spread and pea shooter, that probably would have been over a minute for sure for that fight. Yeah.
It's definitely over a minute. It's definitely you throw a couple of curses there. That is for sure. So the next match, we don't know when it's going to be. The racers have to schedule the matches, so it's going to be either tomorrow or in the next days. Make sure you look at the Cuphead tournament schedule we have over here.
Can we say we have pretty nuts match starting from the winner bracket final, Kaleva versus the Potato, and then we have of course Jason against Welisso, and then the match that probably everyone is looking forward to see, which is TMR versus Multi-Luigi, the two big friends that are going one against the other for a spot in the top 4 of the tournament. So that's gonna be a nut match.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be really interesting. So yeah, I think that's it for us. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting the event in general, and this race in particular. Thank you to the call who joined me in commentary, and congratulations to both the runners. That was a really nice race.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye all. Bye bye.
Hope you have a great day. Bye bye.